guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another full month of nothing new video. Today's video desperately needs to be done. We're doing a little bit of decluttering today and we're going to start with my blushes. I mentioned doing some declutters during this full month of nothing new series and a lot of you seemed really excited about it. If you've ever been curious to see my entire blush collection, I'll be sharing it with you today. But hopefully you guys will enjoy this one. I'm hoping by the end of the day that my blushes will actually fit inside their designated drawer. If you are new here, welcome. I hope that you'll consider subscribing. And now let's head over to my living room floor and get to work. Alright guys, so here is everything that I have. Hopefully I got everything, and then we're just going to kind of get right into it. I think we'll probably go by kind of categories of like brand or packaging and just kind of see what we can whittle down. So I have a bin here for my declutters, and then I have a bin right here for the ones that I will be keeping, and then I'll of course share with you guys those at the end. So let's just jump right into it, and let's start with an easy one. We're going to start with Essence. I love my Essence blushes. These are their newer ones, the blush blushes. I'm keeping all three of these. Probably my favorite, as I mentioned, is Befitting. Also love, if you have extremely fair porcelain skin, this shade Blooming might be great for you, or if you would just like something to have on hand that will kind of help to lighten up other blushes that are a little bit too pigmented. It's fun to mix this one into those. Beautiful formula. I love these. $2.99 a piece. Definitely not parting with those. I also love their original Satin Touch blushes. These are incredible. I have two of the shade, I think it's Satin Love. Love this shade. It's probably my favorite. I am going to get rid of one of those because I obviously don't need them both. I think you can still get these on the Essence website, but they have pulled them from the Ulta website, but they are still just $2.99 a piece and they're incredible. Let's grab my flower blushes. So I just have two. I love them both. Peach Primrose, Warm Hibiscus. This one's a little bit more pink and shimmery. So pretty for like the summertime. And this is one of my favorite peach blushes when I want something very matte, so I'm keeping both of those. Another obvious keep, you guys know, I love my Juicy Pink water blusher. I already have, I think, 6 more colors in my cart on YesStyle. I really want to order them now because I feel like they're one of those things, YesStyle, their stuff goes out of stock pretty regularly, and sometimes it takes a good 3 or 4 weeks before things come back in stock. So I kind of want to order these right now, even though I'm technically on a no-buy. You guys know my thoughts on this though. Absolutely love it. I probably use this nearly every day for the last 3 or 4 weeks. It's just the most beautiful thing ever. This one right here, this is from Essence. I picked this up at Target several years ago. Initially I really loved it because it was a kind of unique shade, this kind of bright bubblegum pink, but I know I have other things in my collection that have this color that I like better than this one. I just don't hardly ever use it. So I'm going to declutter that one. I also want to declutter these two right here. These are the Makeup Revolution, the matte blushes. Do they even make these anymore? I'm pretty sure I've had these for 3 or 4 years. Colors of both of these are beautiful. This is a great neutral blush, but I don't know if they make these anymore. I hardly ever wear them, and I found that these faded even faster than most blushes fade. I have this Wander Beauty palette, which I know has a highlighter in it, but also it's mostly a blush palette, so I'm going to put this in this video today. And again, I almost never use this. I got it in a BoxyCharm. I know I'd use it more if these were not such an odd shape. I like using a really large blush brush, and I just can't fit my blush brush inside there very easily, so I'm going to declutter that one as well. Jumping into a few more keeps. I am so in love with these blushes from e.l.f., you guys. There are some I like more than others as far as the shades go. Let me go through the ones that are my very favorites. This one right here is the shade. This is a shimmer primer infused blush. This is in the shade Always Hazy. One of my most used powder blushes lately. I absolutely love it. I also love the shade Always Silly. I have to be a little bit careful with these three right here. These are, again, the primer infused shimmer blushes, and I love them all, but these three are quite pigmented, so I have to be a little bit more light-handed with them, but they are all very beautiful. This one is Always Silly. This bright pink, which I do like using with a really light hand, and I think is going to be a beautiful fall blush and winter blush. I love a bright kind of cherry pink in the winter time. This is Always Lucky. And then this one is Always Breezy. So I love all of these. I'm going to keep them all. I also really like this one, although I think it's a little bit strongly pigmented for me. You have to be a little bit careful if you are fair skinned. This is the shade Always Rosy, and this is just one of their standard primer infused blushes, but I am going to keep it because I do use it. Another keeper, this Collab blush. Guys, this is one of my favorite cooler toned blushes when I'm doing more of a cooler toned look and I want something that's not not just not warm, but maybe not even neutral, but is still not like bright, cool tone pink. This is such a good one. This one right here, I think I'm ready to get rid of. This is from Physicians Formula. I don't even think they make this one anymore. This is their Powder Palette Multicolored Blush in the shade Blushing Berry. It's a pretty color. I just don't reach into it very often. I really dislike, I know a lot of people do, the Physicians Formula packaging. I just think it's obnoxiously bulky. It is a really good formula though. I do love really any of their powder formulas. I think they're great, but hopefully someone can get some more use out of that than I have. Next, these two Milani blushes. I have Luminoso, and this is an original. I think I've heard the formula may have changed. I've had this blush for about 3.5, 4 years now though. Pretty sure it's the original formula, and I still love it, even though the packaging is obnoxious a little bit. It does remind me a little bit of the Physicians Formula packaging, but I really love these blushes. I think they are absolutely beautiful. And then this one right here, I don't use as much, but it is pretty. Berry Amore, and this is really good fall blush, so it's more of like a deep berry with a gold kind of flip to it. For this Physicians Formula blush, this is their Butter Blush in the shade Plum Rose. This one I really have to apply like 3 layers of this to get it to show up on me. Again, obnoxiously bulky packaging, but this formula, and guys, the smell, I'm such a fan of the butter smell from Physicians Formula. It's like my favorite thing. I could just open this and just smell it all day. It is so yummy. I do think it's a beautiful blush. It is a little light for me. The packaging's bulky and it is kind of old, but I do sometimes still use this. I'm gonna put this in the maybe. We'll decide in a minute. This right here, I got these blushes from Folklore Cosmetics in the wintertime. They were having a sale on, well, eyeshadow palettes, and then they had these blushes for like $1 a piece. So I was like, why not, you know? They're very shimmery. I honestly haven't given these much of a chance, but it's been like 8 months, so part of me is like, well, I haven't tried them yet. That's a pretty pink though. I don't know. I'm gonna again put these in the maybe pile. We'll decide once I get through some more. All right, let's move in to these right here. So I think I have almost every shade that they have ever made of the original e.l.f. blushes. They do still make, I think, maybe not all of these, but a lot of them. They're really nice blushes. I don't think they're super long lasting. I mean, blush in general is not super long lasting, but these are, I think formulas have come a long way. Like newer formulas tend to last a little bit better on me, I found. I don't know. I haven't honestly tried these for years. Part of me wants to hold on to some of them because they're like the first blushes I ever tried. So they have some sentimental value to me, but I'm just gonna go ahead and get rid of all of these just because they're kind of old. I feel like somebody could probably use them. Maybe I'll see if one of my sisters needs some blush and pass them along. Forgot about this one from Milani, one of the prettiest blushes that I have. I mean, who doesn't love these? They are absolutely stunning, and they're really beautiful formula. This is the color Tea Rose, another really good blush for when I'm doing a cool tone look, but this isn't necessarily cool toned. It's a good neutral pink, but I just absolutely love it. It goes with pretty much any look, actually. I love it. I'm gonna keep my Physicians Formula Dewy Blush Elixir. I like this a lot. I don't like it as much now that I've found the Juicy Pang ones, but if you, for whatever reason, can't order from YesStyle or just don't want to order from YesStyle, this is a good alternative to those. I just don't think it lasts quite as long, but it's really, really beautiful. This is the shade Gorgeous Peach, which is a really good, just kind of neutral, whoa, too much, peachy pink. A couple more I know I want to keep are all of my Bare Minerals blushes. They're one of my favorite blush formulas. I love the Bounce and Blur. This one is in the color Blurred Buff. Great shade when you want like just a really nice, warm, peachy bronze kind of look. This is a great blush if you just don't even want to bother with a bronzer and just pop this on your cheeks. It kind of warms up your complexion and blushes you at the same time. I talk about it all the time. I absolutely love it. I still want to pick up a couple more shades of this, although I do still want to try out the MAC ones. Pause, let's zoom in. Hopefully that's a little bit better. So these two right here are from their original Gen Nude line. I love these both. This right here is in the color Let's Go Nude. This is such a good kind of peachy color, but it's a little bit more bronzy as well. It's a good like peachy bronze that goes perfectly on top. I know these swatches look so faint and weak, but trust me, these are so stunning. I wish I could find some good lighting. Honestly, I find the blushes that swatch the worst sometimes are the best performing because they give you the most like subtle effect. You swatch this one right here. I don't know if you can even see that at all, but it's a lot lighter in tone. This is the color That Peach though. I love them both. Let me try to just like finger swatch them for you guys and see if maybe, I wish I had autofocus and I could like get closer, but alas, I don't. But I love them both. They're amazing. More keepers, more of my favorites. The Persona super blushes. Gosh, I love these. They're so great. Right here is the shade Georgia. A perfect, oh, look at that. Oh my gosh. Perfect, beautiful peach that has just a touch of pink in it. I love the shade Carmel as well. It's a very dusty, cool toned pink, but it's not too blue. It's just really beautiful. My MAC blushes, I love them. They have a special place in my heart. These are one of the first things I ever, makeup items I bought that was a little bit more high-end. It was a MAC blush. I think it was this one right here. This is the shade Margin. I don't even know if they make the shade anymore. Some of the MAC blush shades have been discontinued. It's beautiful bronzy peach with a bit of shimmer in it. So pretty in the summertime. I need to pull this into a look because I haven't used it for a while, but I absolutely love it. Melba, one of the greatest blushes of all time in my opinion. Now, I do think with innovation and overabundance of makeup that's out there now, there's probably a lot of dupes or close dupes to this out there. In fact, I have a lot of close dupes to this color, but it's a classic. Goes with everything. Perfect formula. Perfect kind of dusty, neutral, soft pink with a touch of warmth to it. I absolutely love it. This one right here is MAC's Mandarin, Modern Mandarin. It's a very bright orange blush. I have another one that reminds me a lot of this one. Maybe I'll show it to you. It actually reminds me of the orange, actually the corner orange in the, oh my gosh, they look identical, Alamar Cosmetics palette. Can you guys see those two shades? They look so alike. Gosh, I love them both though. I think I am gonna keep this one for now. This is a potential declutter someday. It's very, very bright, but I feel like if you're really going for a unique look or you just wanna do something unique, this is a really fun blush to have. Of course, I'm also keeping the Alamar Cosmetics palette. This is such a great palette. I love that you get kind of that peachy orange, a really orange creamsicle orange. I actually don't use this shade very much, but I think it's a lot of fun. And then this shade in the middle is just a perfect like neutral pink shade. This is a shade Paraiso. Love these palettes. So this one is in the Fair Light. Let me know if you guys that have deeper skin tones have tried the darker toned palettes, if you like them. They all look really pretty to me, and I think the formula is really great. Onto a ColourPop blush. This is the shade Lunar Has It. This is a really beautiful and unique blush. It's almost like a yellowy peach. It's really interesting. I haven't used it for a while. I need to pull this one in as well. I'm going to keep it because I do absolutely love it. The Wet n Wild blushes. Man, guys, these are so good. I know Wet n Wild, I think, has changed. They've changed their packaging, I believe. I don't know how much their blush formulas have changed. Now, these are a little bit old, and I would really like to get the newer blushes that they have. I don't know if the shades are the same, and if they are, if the formulas are the same, and I want to check that. So I am going to keep these. I don't use them very much anymore, but I don't know why, because I think they're incredible. There was a period of time, like a year or two ago on YouTube, where everybody was raving about these as like better than high end. I feel like everyone loved them, especially this shade Rose Champagne. It is so pretty. It's one of those goes with anything kind of shades. It actually reminds me a lot of Madly. Holy cow. Those are identical. Wow, can you guys see that? These are truly identical. They look completely, they are identical. Wow. I don't know that I've ever found such a perfect dupe. Jot this down in my brain for a future dupes video. But yeah, I'm going to keep these for now, and I'll let you guys know when I get around to trying out their newer ones if they are as good. So obviously I'm going to keep Nars Madly. I mean, it's my only Nars blush, and there's just something about Nars packaging. This blush is so good. It's a great color. It's one of those colors that in the pan you're like, what? Looks like it wouldn't even show up on me at all, but you put it on your cheeks and it just gives you this like perfect flush. I think I'm going to declutter this palette right here. My sister gave me this for Christmas, I think 2 years ago. I think she got this at TJ Maxx or Marshall's. It's the Max Studio line. These are really nice blushes. The only reason I think I want to get rid of this is because the smell. It has this weird, it reminds me of like the lotion that my grandma used. It just smells a little bit like baby powder, a little bit like medicated lotion. I'm definitely going to be keeping the Sauce Duo. Absolutely love this formula. I feel like I talk about it all the time. It's amazing. This is the color 8th Muse, or I guess the palette 8th Muse. It has the blush and the highlight. I definitely like the blush more than I like the highlight, but the highlight's really good. For times when I really want to have a highlight that's going to last all day long, I'll put this cream underneath the powder highlight, and it makes a really good base for one. So I have this blush stick from L'Oreal Infallible. There's so much product in this. I feel like I will never use up all of that product. This is in the shade Cheeky Dimension. It's a very bright kind of peach, but it's a really pretty formula, pretty cream formula. I don't know if they make this anymore. It seems like the last time I looked online. I had a hard time finding it to link it, but it is really pretty. I'm sure I have similar colors, but I don't have a lot of creams. In fact, let me check something first. So I also have this right here, which I know I'm keeping. This is from Sugar Ball. I got this on Yes Style. This is their cheek cushion color. This one's in the color Daisy Coral. Really pretty, kind of bright peach. I'm gonna swatch that. Okay, that's completely different. Oh, what a pretty shade. I need to use that more. That is so beautiful. Man, my lights are just not doing this shade justice. It's absolutely lovely. I'm definitely keeping that one, and I think I will keep this one as well. So I think I'm going to declutter this right here. This is from Sephora. This is just one of their blushes. I'll tell you the biggest reason that I'm going to declutter this. It's a great blush. It's a pretty color. This one's in the color Heated, number 16. I have the hardest time opening this packaging. There's like a tiny, you probably can't even see it, tiny little divot right here that I can't find. Like sometimes I have a hard time finding where it is, and then it's a little hard to open, and that I don't have 3 seconds to find where the opening is on my packaging. Like I want it to be second nature to me. It's just one of those small annoyances that keeps me from using a product. So it is a good blush, but it's not super unique. That's the other thing. It's pretty. It's kind of a peachy pink, which I am certain I have similar in my collection, but it is a good formula. It is good, and I'm sure somebody could get more use out of this than I do. One more I know I'm keeping is my Nude Sticks Nudies Matte Cheek Color in the color Sunkissed. I love this one. Looks almost more bronzy than blushy, but I love, that's why I love it. It's like the perfect rosy bronze. It makes for such a good cheek color in the summer or fall, really any time, but especially in summer and fall. I love this one. Let's grab my 2 Laura Geller blushes. Are these even around anymore? This one's probably my favorite. This is the shade Honeysuckle, a really great shimmery pinky bronze. You have a good mix of like champagne and pink shimmer mixed with this kind of bronzy color. And when you swatch them all together, you get this like really pretty color. Then this one right here I actually got in a BoxyCharm. This is in the color Tropic Hues. It's a really pretty shimmery bright pink with a gold shift. These are quite shimmery, but there are times when I like that look, and I don't actually own that many blushes that are that strongly shimmery. Gonna keep both of those. Another one I know I can declutter is the CoverGirl True Blend Blush. I don't know, again, that they make these ones anymore either. These are really pretty. Have such a pretty, silky, soft, shimmery formula. Gosh, that is a pretty shade. Man, part of me doesn't want to declutter that. It's actually kind of unique. Okay, I'm putting this in the maybe pile. I think I'm going to keep this one too, just because when I'm recommending drugstore blushes, I don't actually own very many of these, but I really like them for how affordable they are, for their very sleek packaging. I think they're kind of cute, and they're really good quality. This one is the Maybelline Fit Me blush in the color Pink. Beautiful color. I think Allie Glines recommended this one, and I love it. It's amazing. I'm also going to keep this e.l.f. Multi-Chrome blush stick. I can't remember what these are called. I don't have the package anymore. I think they're called like the multi-chromatic color stick or something, but they're meant to be used on the eyes, the cheeks, or the face. But I really do like this. I've been using it just with a stippling brush and applying it, and I think the color is especially beautiful. Sorry, I need to wipe my hands off, but see that color right there? It actually reminds me a bit of the Kosas one, but a little bit deeper and a little bit more shimmery. I wouldn't say these are particularly long wearing, but they actually were better than I thought they would. So I do like this. I'm gonna keep using it for now. Okay, my e.l.f. palettes. I hardly ever use these, you guys, but I feel like because I decluttered the other old e.l.f. ones, I kind of want to keep these ones, and I do like this one for some of the pinks in it. I love that pink, and I actually love that bronzy peach shade right there as well. I think I'm gonna keep this one. As for the dark version, this one's in the shade Light, this one's in the shade Dark, I believe. They may have changed the names on these actually, because these are quite old. I don't use this one super often, but when I open this palette, there's so many shades in here that remind me of like a pretty fall blush that I just don't have a lot of shades like that. So I think I'm gonna keep both of these, you guys. You can actually shuffle things around, and I really think if I combined like, I don't know exactly which shades I would combine. I could probably get these narrowed down to like 2 shades from this palette and 2 shades from this palette. I definitely would keep that shade and probably that shade. And then in this palette, I would definitely keep this shade and then either this one or this one. I don't know. I'm just keeping both for now. Maybe next declutter we'll do that. This blush right here came in BoxyCharm a little over a year ago. This is the Pretty Vulgar blush in the color Hush Blush? No, Make Them Blush. I'm not really sure. It has a number 18 on the back, and is Pretty Vulgar around anymore? I'm not positive. I don't buy a lot from them. In fact, I don't know that I've ever bought anything from them. I've gotten a lot of things in BoxyCharm. I do love the packaging. I do think it's a great formula. So I'm gonna keep it for now. I know I might not need to, but this is my first blush declutter, so let's take it easy on me, please. Here's another one that's going to be a hard decision. So this is the Note blush. This I got in a BoxyCharm. I don't know anything about this brand, where you buy them, if they're even around anymore. I think it's a beautiful color. It's a really kind of deep peach. I don't know, like deep orangey peach. That looks pretty unique to me. I'm gonna put that in the maybe pile. We'll see. Let's have a look at my Jordana blushes. Now these I think are very underrated and they're hard to find. Like, I don't know any stores that still sell Jordana in general. I did check not too long ago on their website and they do still have these blushes. I think they're pretty affordable. Probably one of my favorites is this one right here, which is the color Rose Silk. Very soft, light pink, like in wintertime when I want just something soft and light on my skin, like Valentine's Day. That's a really pretty shade. So this one reminds me of what everyone said Nars Orgasm looks like, which I've never tried, but it's like that peachy pink that I feel like every company does some version of. It's a really pretty shade. I think I'm going to get rid of Touch of Pink because I'm pretty sure I have something similar to this in my collection. It's kind of just a standard peachy pink that's a matte. So I'm going to pass this one along. I think it's really pretty. I think someone else will really enjoy it, and then I'm going to keep these two. Two blushes right here I know I'm keeping. These I got from YesStyle. These are from the brand Etude House. These are their Lovely Cookie blushers. I got these after hearing Arna Elaine rave about them, and are these not the cutest little packages you have ever seen? I think these are adorable. It's just fun to play with them. I feel like I'm a little kid playing with makeup again. But I also think the blushes inside here are beautiful. I typically will use a brush rather than this little puff, but I certainly would not get rid of this cute puff because I think it's so adorable, and it actually does work really well. So I have the shade right here, which is Ginger Honey Cookie. It's a very light toned pink with the tiniest touch of peach to it. Again, this is one of those shades that does not show up on the hand but looks incredibly beautiful and natural on the cheek. Definitely keeping that one. And this is one of those shades that I don't have a lot of shades like this, but when I'm wanting that bright pop of pink just on the apples of my cheeks, this is usually the one I'll grab. The shade name is Strawberry Choux, which I also think, like Choux, C-H-O-U-X, I think that's the cutest name. Love these blushes. I think they're adorable, really good formula. They are matte, and yeah, I could never part with these. I think they are so cute. These I got from Folklore Cosmetics during Christmas time. They weren't quite as cheap as the other ones from Folklore. I want to say these were like $5 a piece, but they're meant to obviously mimic the Cover FX ones that lots of people love. I haven't tried them myself, and I sort of like them. I don't use these very much. I need to use them more because I'm not quite sure I know exactly how I feel about these. So let me show you the shades I have. This one right here, this is the color Soft Apricot, which is quite orange. It's a very orangey peach. Then this one right here is the color Marshmallow Kiss. I do like both of these. I just need to use them more. Honestly, I think they both look really pretty and unique. I like that there's a shimmer and a matte, but I haven't used them enough to know what I think about either the formula or the color. So I'm gonna get some more use out of these. This one right here is a duplicate of the shade Marshmallow Kiss, so the same as this one right here. Haven't opened it yet. I may just gift this one, see if someone I know wants to try this. I think this would look really pretty on my sister. Okay, this right here is from Makeup Revolution. This is in the shade Golden Days, so I actually had another one of these. This I had before I started my YouTube channel. I found this in Ulta and found it to be a near dupe for Margin by MAC. Very soft, and I think this one is not quite as deep as the original one that I had. I did swatch them side by side, but that one shattered and I ended up having to throw it away. So here is Margin. So they obviously don't look very similar in the pan. This one looks a little bit deeper. Let's swatch this one next to it and just see. Yeah, this one definitely has more peach. This is more just like of a light bronze. I just don't think I'm going to use this. In fact, I haven't used it for well over a year, so I'm going to declutter this one. Okay, down to my last two. So this one right here. So I ordered a bunch of stuff from CYO. This was like over a year ago, and I got it to do a video on some products from CYO, and for some reason things got really busy and I didn't film the video for several months. The stuff just sat there in the box. I didn't even really try any of it out. And then finally, when I was getting ready to film the video, I found out that CYO was being discontinued. So I never actually did that video. I got a lot of products from them and a lot of really great ones. I got their Light Proof foundation, which that's not my favorite thing that I've gotten so far actually, even though part of it was that the shade wasn't quite right for me. But I do have that. I also got a lip liner from them that I love. I got a lipstick that I think is amazing, really good quality. I got a brow gel, a bunch of other things from them that I think are really great, but I just don't feel like I can use them, at least on camera, for you guys because you can't buy them anymore. But this palette is their contour, highlight, and blush palette. And I honestly, since I've really been into cream blushes, when I first got this, I wasn't really in my like blush phase. It's really bright. Holy cow, look at that. I'm very curious though to try this now that cream blushes are kind of my jam. So I'm gonna keep this because I do want to give it a try again. This one right here is the water blushes e.l.f. had. Do you remember these? I love the packaging on these. They're kind of shiny and they have that silver that shifts to blue. I don't know if you guys can see that, but I think they're really pretty. I love the formula of these. They're really unique. They remind me so much of the Bare Minerals Bounce and Blur formula. Almost identical. It's kind of crazy actually. I don't know that they still make these anymore. I think they may have discontinued this line, which I think is unfortunate because I kind of feel like e.l.f. tried these out before cream blushes were a thing, and then I think they sort of realized they weren't a huge hit, and then all of a sudden a whole bunch of companies came out with a bunch of cream blushes that everybody seemed to really love, and I think e.l.f. had a great formula here, so I think it's kind of sad that they just got the timing wrong on these things. I don't know, I'm gonna check their website and see if they're still available. If they are, I will try and link them down below, but I don't use these much anymore. But again, I got this before I knew how much I loved cream blushes, so I'm gonna keep this and give it another try. All right guys, so back to these ones right here. I think I'm gonna get rid of the butter blush because I know this one would work better for someone with more fair skin, and as much as I love the smell, I can always pick up a better shade. Oh, I'm also still on the fence about this one. I'm kind of just... Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna keep this one and this one because this one is quite shimmery, kind of like these ones are. I think I'm gonna keep this more light pink and then the Folklore more bronzy one, and then I think I will declutter the bright pink shimmery one from Folklore. And then as for this shade right here, I just want to see how this compares to my Bare Minerals, that peach though. Okay, arm. Oh, whoa, those are way different. Just want to swatch Modern Mandarin next to this one. Okay, so now that I've swatched these, that is a pretty unique shade to me. It's like a terracotta orange in a matte formula. One more thing I want to try, and I'm pretty sure these won't be identical, but okay, not at all. That's a very unique shade. So I think I'm gonna keep this one after all. I can't get over how unique that shade is. I want to try it on myself. I know I've used this blush before, but it's been a while, and that just looks so pretty and unique to me. So I'm gonna keep this one too. Sorry, I wanted to have one more to declutter, but I want to keep the ones that I really love. All right guys, so here is a look at all the ones I am getting rid of. There are 20 blushes in here. I know that is not amazing, but I feel like this is my first declutter. I want to really use some of those things that I realized I haven't used for a while. I want to give them some use first, and then I think I could probably squeak a few more out, but these are the ones I'm decluttering. And here are the ones I am keeping. 54, 20 declutters out of 74. I don't know, I feel like that's a pretty good percentage for my first declutter. I know as I use some of these a little bit more, some that maybe have gotten lost in my messy drawers, I'm sure as I get a better feel for some of those, I could probably squeak out a few more, but I'm definitely going to keep the ones that I'm excited to use. So this is what I have. Hope that you guys enjoyed this. Let me know if you saw anything in here that you really are dying to see me use. Please let me know in the comments down below, and I'll try to squeak it into a video coming up. Thank you guys for joining me today. If you have not yet subscribed, be sure to do that before you leave, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye. My zipper was down. Oh, so glad I caught that. medium. Should we do a thumbnail in really crappy lighting?